okay with water in here?
Absolutely.
Studio rules, you know.
Spill it on the board, you'll just short us all out. Got about 3:50 till we go live.
Okay.
You gonna introduce us and we just start playing, or are we gonna start talking?
I'm gonna talk with you a little bit first, and we'll talk about who all's in the band, and I don't know, whatever. Like I say, I don't script it. It's straight off the seat of my pants, and it always works.
It does.
Where's some wood?
Well, I was telling Dan, you know, Al's been doing this for,
Scripted is no good.
Al's been doing this for a while, he's pretty good at it.
3 minutes. Yeah, we're gonna play, actually, it's a little bit more than 3, because we're gonna play a couple of recorded promos, then I'm gonna read the brief acoustic music calendar, and then we'll go.
Just checking the record level. Yes, yeah, just at you.
Pay attention.
Just pay attention to that muscle.
So Joel is on this album too?
Yes, he plays bass on some of the tracks and sings on a couple.
And of course Liam, Liam's living in what, Iowa?
Iowa.
Dubuque?
Beautiful
Yeah.
Dubuque, Iowa.
Nolan is on this recording.
Who knew?
Yeah, he encountered a vulture on the
Nolan's a
drive
guest.
down to our last meeting.
One of the tracks we're gonna play, in part because it lets us say hello to him. Yeah, I did not know.
Just a little bit.
Hey, mic up means that I'm gonna turn on the broadcast mic and y'all gotta be quiet.
Oh yes, that's
And
right.
I'm gonna do that in about 50 seconds. Mic up. It's beautiful. Shenandoah and Minstrel Boy, a medley by Katie Finlayson from her album Irish Coffee. Before that, Kathy Mattea gave us Green Rolling Hills from her album Coal. Well, we're just a couple of minutes away from Kennedy's Kitchen live here in the studio. Going to share a couple of messages with you first, and then I'll be back with the acoustic music calendar and then the band.
With LED technology leading the country into a more energy efficient future.
Particularly for home and restaurant, the mood that lighting can create makes a big difference. That means that people will more readily adopt that technology.
Shining a light on lighting technology next time on Here and Now.
Join us for Here and Now weekdays at noon on 88.1 and at 2 p.m. on WVPE News 2.
This program is presented with support from the Platinum members of the WVPE Business Honor Roll.
Contributors include Tank Marks Advertising and PR and the Carriage House Dining Room and Gardens. Business Honor Roll Platinum members contribute
Mic up.
5,000.
Indeed. And just a quick look at the acoustic music calendar before we get on with the live appearance of Kennedy's Kitchen here in the studio. Coming up this week on Tuesday at the Red Table Concert Series, downtown South Bend in Studebaker Plaza. That's at lunchtime. Go down, buy a sandwich or take a sandwich and listen to Brian Eddington on Tuesday. Then on Thursday night at Fiddler's Hearth, it's Kevin Joyner and the Hidden Chambers. That should be interesting. Fiddler's Hearth, 9 p.m. on Friday at the Livery. It's the Gibson Brothers, and hey, we're going to listen to them a little bit later in the show. But that is one top-notch, probably one of the top bluegrass acts in the country, and the Livery in downtown Benton Harbor has got them on Friday night. Also on Friday night, giving them a little competition, is a band called Kennedy's Kitchen that will be at Fiddler's Hearth starting at 9 p.m. for about their 200th and whatever time. And Michael Kelsey will be at the Front Porch in Valparaiso on Friday night. Saturday, Highland Rain takes the stage at Fiddler's Hearth. And Return to Normal, my buddies Marty and Corinne Lucas from North Judson. They'll be playing the Culver Farmers Market from 9 a.m. until 1 p.m. this Saturday. Sunday, 1 week from today, Caroline Cotter, also in my playlist later here tonight. Caroline Cotter will be at Sounds with 2 U's. And that's in South Bend at 7 p.m. That's a new venue that I have yet to visit myself. And also Sunday, 1 week from today, Kevin Joyner at Fiddler's Hearth for the Brunch Bunch from noon until 2 p.m. And with that, all the business is taken care of. The microphones are all on here in the studio. And Patriarch John, move up to the microphone there first, please, and welcome everybody.
Hey there, Al.
Hello.
Hi there, Chris and Jacob and Theresa and Nathan, and out in the hallway, Nancy. This is Kennedy's Kitchen, all sitting here and ready to perform what, mostly from the new album?
That's right. Yeah, we're going to be performing, let's see, well, we're never quite sure what we're going to do, but what we've lined up here are 4, maybe 5 tracks from a new CD. And then one from the next CD that we're already planning. This one isn't even officially released yet.
Well, now, wait a minute, this last one took 6 years.
Uh-huh.
So, are we going to do this in, 2025 here?
I don't know, what do you guys think? Think we can do this?
No,
Could shave a couple of years
please
off.
no.
Yeah.
All
Just
right.
don't take another teaching job, John.
Very good, Chris. That's the way to work that microphone. Well, anyway, the kitchen is here, and tonight the kitchen consists of everybody that was on the album except maybe Joel Cooper and Liam.
Liam Ledusky is in Iowa, Dubuque, with a wife and a child. And Joel Cooper is in Nova Scotia right now. Hi, Joel. He will be listening, I have no doubt.
Hello, Joel. Good to see you.
And Nolan Ledusky is also a guest on this recording.
All right, and they are all family. Nolan and Liam are your nephews.
That's right.
And, well, Joel's not family, but, well, he's sort of family.
Of a sort. Yeah, of a sort. I mean, he's kind of family to South Bend. He left this community 15 years ago, 17 years ago. He's been listening to this show every Sunday night since he could stream it.
The day I met Joel, I knew he was a highly intelligent guy.
Yeah.
And
he knows good music when he hears it.
That just proves it. So in the studio, we've got 6 kitchenettes. We have John Kennedy, who is the founder and the patriarch, and I guess that's what we would call him. And behind him, standing in the doorway, going to play Bodhran on one song here tonight, is Nancy Turner, who does sit in and play Bodhran with the band from time to time when Jacob's away, or maybe even when Jacob's here, I don't know. Also here, Chris O'Brien, and Chris and John often do the brunch at Fiddler's Hearth, at least on a monthly basis, on a regular schedule. And you'll see them these days listed as just John and Chris. They dropped the last names on the Fiddler's Hearth listing for some reason or another. But anyway, they are here. So Chris is here on mandolin. John right now is holding a bouzouki, but he's going to be playing guitar, I'm sure, too. Jacob Turner is here with Bodhran in hand, and he is He's an incredible player. He took over from, I guess, when Bob Harkey left the
That's
band.
right. Hi, Bob.
And
He's-
hey, I'm sure
he's
Bob is
listening
out there too.
Hi, Sherry.
So anyway, and Jacob just wowed everybody with his drumming prowess, so he is here as a part of the band tonight. Maybe one of the newest. Well, no, actually, Nathan might be the newest, but Theresa Kubiak is here playing whistles, or a whistle, and she is a supreme whistler. We're going to talk to her in a little bit and find out a little bit more about where all of that desire came from and so forth. So I'm sure she's got her answers just spinning in her head. And Nathan Waddell, did I say it correctly?
You got it.
On bass. And so that's what we have here tonight. That's introducing the band. We'll talk a little bit more, but I'd like to hear some music.
Please.
So, Mr. John, what have you got lined up first?
This is a set that we refer to as Cuz Tian's set. The first tune is The Road to Glountane, which was written by Terence Cuz Tian. Lived in Chicago for a good number of years. He's from County Kerry. I've never met him. I don't know the man, but we cut a video 2 years ago playing this set and posted it with Upstate Media. The folks at Upstate Media did a fabulous job for us. Posted it to the internet, and a cousin of Cuz Tian's corrected us on the name of the tune. So that's how we found out what it's called. And then it's The Bucks of Oranmore, which is a very well-known old standard tune. And then Emily's Reel.
Kennedy's Kitchen. Wonderful. Kennedy's Kitchen performing live here in the studio. That's track number 4 from their brand new album, The Whiskey of Truth, and performed live here in the studio. One of the problems with live in-studio performances is that you end a beautiful number and there's no applause, so I can applaud. But anyway, basically, that was excellent. And if you're wondering about it, the folks at home heard a beautiful mix. It was just great in my headsets. So
Thank you, Al.
You're good. That was a very nice whistle performance. Miss Theresa, please step up to the microphone.
Hello.
Hello. And this is Theresa Kubiaks. She's the now, well, one of, I guess I should say,
Yes.
the whistle players for the kitchen, because I imagine from time to time Nolan and Liam, if they're around, will sit in too, right? And John, you play too.
Well, Liam's still a full-time member of the band.
Oh, he is still?
Oh, yeah, he's still a full-time member.
He's just away tonight.
He's just, well, he's got a wife and a child and a graduate school and all those things in Iowa. So,
That's what he gets.
you're not paying Liam enough money to make the drive-in for this.
So how
public
long have
radio.
you been with the group, Theresa?
So I started playing, I believe, in fall of 2016, right when I first came back from my first trip to Ireland for the All-Ireland competition.
So not, what did I do? I hit a cue button, I shouldn't have hit. My headsets went dead on me. Anyway, so almost 2 years, well, maybe a year and a half, roughly, it sounds like. No, two and a half.
No, so
Two and a
it's,
half.
yeah.
2.5.
Almost 3.
Yeah, that's right. My math isn't as bad
It's not as bad.
as it seems. And what got you started in Irish whistle playing?
So I basically grew up around it. I grew up around John Kennedy's sister, Rosie Ladewski, Liam and Nolan's mother.
So it is John's fault.
Well, yeah, you could say that.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I mean, the rest is pretty much history. My mom kind of got me involved, bought a few CDs, brought them home, and I fell in love with the music, and that's pretty much where it all started, as a little 6-year-old, so.
What age? Oh, at 6.
Yeah, at 6,
Oh,
yeah.
at 6 years old. So you've been playing all of for 4 years now.
Well, yeah.
Plus a few.
Plus a few, yeah, almost
Okay.
14.
All right, that's great. Well, you sure do a great job.
Well, thank you very
and
much.
I'm sure that everybody appreciates having you in the band. We don't have a whole lot. I'll let you go. Yeah. She said, thank goodness. She's letting me off the hook. But anyway, I'd like to talk a lot more with everybody, but we have to try to balance that out. So I'm going to ask you, John, what you have planned to play next here.
Gonna do a song for you. Gonna do Owen O'Neill Has Gone to Clare.
Ah, yes. This was basically your lead vocal. Is that correct?
With Chris on harmony.
Chris O'Brien on harmony, and this.
Joel Cooper is also on harmony on the record.
Oh, okay. Well, this is track number 2 on the new album too. So let's hear it. Owen O'Neill.
Owen O'Neill has gone to Clare. Owen O'Neill has gone to Clare. Owen O'Neill has gone to Clare. It's a long, long way from here to there. When I think of Clare, it eases off my pain and levels out my thinking. Town of Kilrush, town of Kilkee. Both towns can be seen from the high rocky slopes round the cliffs of Dooney. Owen O'Neill's gone to Clare. shines bright today. The rocky shore is fringed with foam from the sand going to fray. Listen, 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 Barlow. Music in the open air. People the world over leave a part of their hearts in Clare. Oh, no Neil's gone to Clare. Oh, no Neil's gone to Clare. Oh, no Neil has gone to Clare. The sun shines like a jewel on the lovely hills of Clare. We walk and see the Shannon flowing by as the nightingales sing songs for you and I. Knew that I love you, knew with you I would stay. How mellow the light shines down upon the scarlet bay. Oh, no Neil's gone to Clare. Oh, no Neil's gone to Clare. Oh, no Neil has gone to Clare. Those nights in 6-Time Bridge, how the songs and music flowed there. Years have passed and gone since those times we had in sweet County Clare. Take me up to Ennistarville, Ennistarville's where I want to be. I want to live in Ennistarville and wake up every day with you next to me. Oh, no Neil's gone to Clare. Oh, no Neil's gone to Clare. Oh, no Neil has gone to Clare.
Kennedy's Kitchen and John Kennedy on
Oh.
the lead vocal, and a wonderful job. That, what do they call your baritone again? I just read you made a comment about that on Facebook the other day.
Melodic baritone.
Melodic baritone. It
So
certainly is
I'm
a soothing baritone, and one that I've heard about 10 million times and can keep listening to it, so.
Thank you.
Kennedy's Kitchen performing live in the studio. That's another track from the brand new album, The Whiskey of Truth. And before we talk to the Turners, giving a little warner.
Can I just one brief thing? I want to mention.
No.
I want to mention the guitar.
Yes.
Jim Shank.
Oh, Jim Shank.
Yeah.
I was going to
Music
ask you.
in Goshen. Yeah.
That's a Jim Shank
Yes.
original?
That's right. And one of the reasons I brought it is I recorded the song on this guitar, and that's another artist in this community.
Yeah, Jim was a luthier in Goshen and has made instruments for many players who have gone. I think Jay Lapp is still
Yes.
playing nationally with the Steel Wheels, and others have been playing Jim's instruments, so that's beautiful. It has beautiful sound.
So it's
How about this Whiskey of Truth? While we're talking about it, though, where can people buy it, Chris?
Right now, it is not yet up on CD Baby or Spotify online. We technically haven't released it yet. Officially, that'll be Friday at Fiddler's Heart.
Okay.
But watch our website, and as soon as we go through all the machinations that it takes to sell things online, it will be up. If not, just follow us. We're all over the place
Okay.
in the coming month.
And the website is kennedyskitchen.com.
.com.
And so that's simple enough to remember. And the Whiskey of Truth, so look for it when it becomes available. And of course, if you go to their gigs, and we may as well just talk about that now, and we'll mention it again a bit later, but hey, do you have a listing of some of the upcoming gigs?
We're gonna be in Niles, at the Pavilion on the River on August 8th, and of course.
Well, and also, we just said you're gonna be at Fiddler's Hearth this Friday.
Fiddler's Hearth on Friday. That's kind of an unofficial CD release. Basically, you know, it's gonna be released in stages. First, you gotta come to a show, and that's kind of the first release. Then they're gonna be up on CD Baby and the website, and then finally, it'll be Pandora, Spotify, iTunes, so it'll be a whole series of releases.
So I interrupted you, and then in Niles, you'll be there on August 8th?
August 8th, and on the 9th, we're gonna be at Fernwood.
And that's right, you have a Fernwood gig coming up.
And after that, I'd say just check the website.
Check the website for other gigs that are coming up.
There's gonna be a series of kind of CD release concerts where we're gonna be playing the CD.
Okay.
Play the music track by track and then tell stories about each track as we go.
We have a mother and son Bodhran players in this band. Why don't you move over to the microphones here? We're gonna put you on the spot. I know Jacob has just been waiting anxiously to be able to talk on the air. But how did it happen, Nancy, that both of you ended up being, did he inherit the Bodhran from you, or?
I inherited from him, so.
You took over from him?
Yeah, he
Okay.
played before I did, actually.
All right, and then, well, you play very well too, so did you go to school, or?
Yeah. I've taken, some lessons over Skype and, different places, actually, so. Right, it started probably in about 2006. We went as a family to Ireland, and he saw that drum and said, I want to learn that. And I thought to myself, where am I going to find that? In South Bend, Indiana.
Oh,
So,
6.
yeah, so fast forward.
So you've been playing 13 years now, is that right?
Probably not.
I'm thinking
quite
about
that.
11,
Yeah.
about 11 years.
About
Took-
11 years.
Took a
So I was
few
probably
years.
10 or 11 when I
Okay.
started.
Right, so we took from John and.
And we found out from Mom here that you saw or heard it played in Ireland and said, I gotta do that. Is that-
Yeah, we saw a band live and I had never seen the Bodhran before. And then after that I got interested and then found John as a teacher and he taught me.
I suppose we should tell some of our listeners what a Bodhran is. It's a drum, if you hadn't picked up on that. Irish drum, I guess, is one thing you could call it. And it sort of looks like a great big empty tambourine with a skin on one side, and then you've got a stick that you kind of rotate back and forth in your other hand. That's my layman's description for you all out there.
You did a good job.
But anyway, all right. So and then you, how did you get hooked up with Kennedy's Kitchen?
I was taking lessons from John, and before that Bob Harkey was the Bodhran drummer in Kennedy's Kitchen, and then a few years later Bob Harkey decided to retire, and so they needed a new drummer. So
And you
I
were
stepped in,
available,
yeah.
and by then you'd learned well enough, in fact, more than well enough. And your drum also has a pickup in it, does it? Does it not when you play sometimes?
Yes, for live shows there's a pickup inside the drum that I tape and use.
And
Yeah.
that really makes it kick. I mean, that really makes it's a great sound though. I mean, when that's going and you've got that pickup in there going, boy. Because one of the problems that I've experienced before, maybe you think this is strange, is that I think I don't hear the Bodhran well enough. Sometimes it seems to get buried among the other instruments.
We agree on that. More Bodhran is always good.
Is that like more cowbell?
Yeah.
So anyway.
Up on stage, we're always like more.
But anyway, it sounds great, and you guys both do a good job, and I suppose you
Thank
both
you.
share instruments too.
We each have our own drum, actually.
Well, that's right. You wouldn't want to play Mom's drum, would you? You know. Well, thanks. I'll let you off the hook and off the spot here,
Thanks a lot.
and let the leader come back here and tell us what we're going to hear next. And let's see, I should tell everybody that at 8 o'clock, you're listening to your NPR station, 88.1 WVPE and WVPE HD1, Elkhart, South Bend, and online at WVPE.org. And also, I should tell you that if you go to WVPE.org, a lot of this has been live streaming here. Diane Daniels is in the studio, and I have been watching a little bit of this on the monitor. So if you want to go to your computer, if you're not already there, and go to WVPE.org, I think you might find a live stream of something that you're going to hear here in just a little bit.
The band gets dressed for radio.
Now, thanks, John.
So, all right, so what is next, Mr. Kennedy?
We're going to tell you that this is the first track on the CD, Theresa Kubiaks. First tune in this set was written by Theresa, and we had a fun adventure for the year and a half or so, trying to come up with a name for it. For a while we called it the Fly in the Sugar Bowl, and then for another while we called it the Flying Gerbil, and it had a few other names, but anyway, it was Theresa Kubiaks. And then
I noticed you left out the Plankstein.
well, they can buy the CD if they want the rest of the story.
Okay, so anyway.
Yeah, you might get letters.
Kennedy's Kitchen and all what John just said.